So how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank
How
you.
are you?
Very good. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. You are here as an interpreter, but
Yes.
also as my friend.
Yes.
So, the main focus of this podcast is going to be your career.
Okay.
So how did you get where you are? So where you are and how did you get here?
I haven't gone that far in my career. I would say
Yes.
it's a very, very tiny experience, but I'm very proud of where I am.
Mhm.
I'm a conference interpreter, so I work full time as a
Okay.
conference interpreter. Good? There you go. So I'm a full-time conference interpreter. Mostly I focus on diplomacy, but at the same time I work in every single field you can think of. 2 days ago I was working with engineers. Tomorrow I think I'll be working with pilots, and after tomorrow God knows. So
That's amazing.
I know.
That's a privilege.
It
to be able
is.
to
I'm
meet people
privileged.
from different fields.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm definitely privileged. I am so lucky to be able to do what I do.
Yeah, so I was talking to a friend and they told me that the only people who are good in the University of Boubegra are interpretation people.
Yeah.
How come?
I think we have a very good reputation
Yes,
in
we
general.
do.
Mostly the Institute of Translation is a really good place to actually study. I think it's probably the best department to be in when you're at university, because it gives you that university experience, but at the same time you're able to live it in a way that's very restricted, and it's like a small community. So it's really nice to be a part of the institute, and being able to have access to interpretation after having to go through a whole contest and preparing for it for months. It was exhausting, because basically you do 3 years of translation, and then on your third year, licence year, you just go through a test, and they decide if you're worthy of joining la crème de la crème, as they call it.
Oh, so there is a selection process.
Definitely,
Okay.
yes.
Do you think that contributes to the fact that you have a good reputation?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. How selective is it?
Extremely.
Really?
Yes. Back in the day, I remember when I had my test, they made sure that we had a minimum of 14 on 20 when it comes to our grades. And
Back grades?
not back grade. Well, yes, the back grades as well. When I got access to the Institute of Translation, but even during the test that we were going to have, they made sure that we had, I think, 14 on 20 on every module that we needed to pass, and then they made sure that we didn't go through any rattrapage sessions. They made sure we were, excellent. They chose the best of the best to be able to have access to the test. And once we finished, they ended up choosing 10 people, which was amazing, because the year before us, I think they chose 5 people.
Okay.
So it
it's
was
not
very.
a lot of people.
It was restricted, yeah. It was restricted to a very tiny portion.
Okay, and at what point do you get selected? At what point of your university career do you get selected?
It's
year?
your third year, actually.
Third year.
Your third year, the beginning of your third year,
Okay.
and then you have access directly to interpretation courses, where you're gonna start excruciating training. And it can be hard during the first 2 weeks, because you mainly work on shadowing, which is basically you listen to someone speak and you continue with the flow that they're going in, saying the same things that they say while they're speaking. So you learn how to listen and at the same time speak, which can be quite challenging.
Yes, this sounds very difficult. To me.
It can be,
Yeah.
but with time, it will come naturally, and you'll be able to actually listen to someone in one language and interpret it in another language, and it would come naturally to you, which is amazing.
I see. So tell me about, so you do a bachelor's degree and then master's degree?
Yeah, I had my bachelor degree
In interpretation?
Yes, in translation and interpretation.
Okay.
And then my master's degree, I have a double major in my master's degree. So I have conference interpretation and translation, and I also have, by the degree 1275, I have a startup degree as well. also in the field of translation and interpretation. So yeah.
Okay. So the specialty of your master's is
translation and conference interpretation.
okay.
But we had access to this amazing opportunity to be able to create our own startup. And yeah, I did my training for 8 months.
So this was part of the university courses?
Yes.
Explain to me, how does this work?
So they added an incubator in every university.
Oh.
Yes. So
every university in Algeria?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, this was new. I wasn't aware of it.
Yes, they added incubators. We have
when
our own.
Sorry, when I graduated from university, the concept of incubators wasn't invented yet.
I know.
I'm that old.
I know, right?
No,
but they just started it, I think, last year. We were the first, the first people who got access to that, and which makes us extremely lucky. But basically, they added an incubator in every university, and every student who had an innovative idea was able to present his idea and then go through another selection process. As you can see, I've been through a lot of selection processes.
Okay, so this was during your master's?
During my master's degree, because I was going to do a normal master's degree, translate a book or a speech and work on analyzing the speech. But then they told us that we have this opportunity, and I had an innovative idea for a project, and there I was, and I was selected. And thankfully I got my master's degree with excellence, and here I am.
I see. But tell me more about your startup. What was your innovative idea?
I cannot speak much about it.
It's a secret.
It's not a secret. It's work in progress.
Okay.
It's gonna get launched in September, so be aware. Okay. We're gonna launch it in September. It's something that's gonna help a lot of people, a marginalized category of people, and it's something that's in the field of translation and interpretation, and it's going to help a lot of interpretation students as well. So we really can't wait to be able to have an impact on people's lives. So,
okay. Did you always want to be an interpreter?
Yes.
Or study interpretation?
Yes. Weirdly enough, I found an old diary when I was, I think, 14, and inside of the diary I wrote, "I will be the best interpreter."
Wow.
I promise you, I was 14.
Okay.
And I had no idea. And once I got my baccalaureate, when I got my BEM, when I finished middle school, I got it with great grades, and they wanted me to go, to scientific stream, and I didn't agree. I said I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
I even had a huge fight with my mom. Hi, Mom.
Imagine.
So I ended up having a huge fight with my mom about it, and then I chose foreign languages. I've always been in love with foreign languages.
And you're very good at them.
I'm not bad. I'm okay. I'm not bad. But I've always been passionate about languages and books. And mainly I was passionate about languages because in my mind, all I could think of is there are so many writers and so many different cultures, and you really don't notice the nuances between these cultures until you start tapping into them. So you start reading new books and you read the translation and it makes sense, but you just think about it and you go like, maybe, just maybe, the writer in his own language wanted to say something that's deeper.
Oh, it's a little bit more different, or a little bit different.
Yeah, so I was just like, there is no accurate translation. There is no 100% translation. And even in terminology, in my first course in translation, they taught us that there wasn't anything called synonyms. There are equivalents. So you have an equivalent in a different language. You don't have a synonym.
Okay, yeah.
Because there are always some degrees
of
that
nuances.
There you go. That differ.
No two words mean the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what really scares me about languages is that it's how much they influence the way we think. So I realize in a lot of cultures, when you don't have a word for something, the whole concept of that thing is missing from your way of thinking.
Exactly.
For example, I think the word fun doesn't really exist in the French language, but it does in the English language.
It does in English?
Amusement, that's not exactly fun. s'amuser. Can you say, I do this for fun in French?
Je m'éclate, je m'amuse, je le fais parce que ça me passionne, je le fais parce que
Yeah,
j'aime ça.
but it's me passionne et fun. It's not the same
I
thing.
know.
It's really not the same.
I know, different degrees.
But it's completely different.
I know.
It's completely different.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, I have one question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think in English, Arabic, or French?
I think I do the three. It depends on. But this is the thing. I use concepts from the three languages that I know
Yeah.
to go through the day. Like if I take my car out
Yeah.
for no reason, I can think in English and say, okay, I'm doing this for fun. And that's like a legitimate enough reason to spend money on gas, waste time, and risk crashing my car or breaking my car.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people do not imagine themselves doing something for fun just because the word fun doesn't exist in their language, in their vocabulary, or
Yeah.
the language dictionary in their head. So, and also because it doesn't exist in their in the language they speak. So yes, this is something that scares me because I think, what if there are concepts in other languages that I don't know, maybe in Japanese or Russian? We're talking about the concept of broken vases in
Yes.
Japanese. There's
Broken
a word
bowls.
for that.
Yeah.
And because we don't have that word, because we don't have that concept in our language
Yeah.
or in our way of thinking, or rather because we don't have that word in our language, so therefore we don't have that concept in our perception of things, then whenever something is broken, it has less value in our minds. When it could have had more value because it has damage in it. And so what scares me is all the concepts that exist in different cultures because they have words in them.
Yeah.
In their languages that I'm not aware of, and what I might be missing out because of that.
You're probably missing out on a lot of things because there are more than 7,000 languages out there that exist, and people think.
What
in
about
these-
What
Yes.
about the languages that could exist but never existed, that could have existed?
I think about this quite often, and I think about dialects as well. Well, dialects are not typically considered languages; they're derived from languages. But even with dialects, I mean, aren't dialects fascinating to you? Don't you find dialects fascinating? Sometimes I go to different African countries and, you see all of these people speaking in these languages that seem to make no sense, but they make sense, if you know what I mean. You just look at them and you're like,
Yeah.
he said something.
In Afrikaans.
Yes, it doesn't strike one single brain cell in my brain, but still I'm just looking at that person and going like,
That's exactly the word for it.
exactly.
Right.
I like it. I'm learning this word, and this is something that made me go into dive into learning languages and being so passionate about finding equivalence from this language to the other language. Well, back in the day, I thought they were synonyms, but then they turned out to be equivalents.
Yeah. So you always wanted to be an interpreter?
Apparently.
Yeah. And then, so you did choose that at university? So you did the foreign languages
foreign languages in high school.
And then you chose interpretation and translation at university.
Yes.
On your third year, you did you went through a selection process.
Yes, a test.
And then you graduated.
Yes, and then I got selected, and then I graduated with my master's degree.
Okay, were you part of any clubs at university?
Not really. I was about to create, I think, 2 clubs.
Okay.
I was about to create 2 clubs. I was about to do it with Abdu. I don't know if he's watching, but if you're watching, hi Abdu.
Hello, Abdu.
So I was going to do it with Abdu, who's a psychology major, and we thought about creating this open space for different artists at university. Because we have a lot of artists in Boubegra. I don't know if people know this, but Boubegra is the land of opportunities when it comes to artists.
It's not Les Beaux-Arts?
Well, the Beaux-Arts is amazing, let me tell you that. But when it comes to musicians, actors, we have a lot of individuals who actually have made it their career, and they're really good at it as well. I mean, they sit on the grass and they come up with amazing things.
Yeah.
And in my head, all I could think of is, why don't we have a special place for these people? Why don't we have an open space where we could have all of these artists be comfortable enough to create. Just create. Even if you don't like going into the classroom, just don't sit on the grass. Go create something, do something. And we wanted to do this. We wanted to open this club. It was called Creation, actually. The name was Creation, literally. And we went through the process to create the club. And then life happened, and I actually started working before I graduated. So I ended up traveling while studying.
Okay.
So it was my last year at university as well. So I was like, I can't keep up.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yeah, so I ended up leaving. And
clubs are very good. I studied at the University of Blida, which is one of the worst universities in the world. Let's be honest with ourselves. No, honestly, especially in terms of meeting people and social life and things like that.
You're an engineer. You don't have a social life.
Well, I would like to have a social life, nevertheless. But the thing is, since they came up with clubs for engineers, for future engineers, university became bearable. They suddenly started meeting people with the same interests as you, learning things from them, creating friendships that last for years. So I have friends that I met at my university club, which is Al-Kindi, that are still my friends today. Like, they're still close friends today.
Amazing.
Yes, because we share the same thing. We're basically the same people. The thing with universities is that you are part of a classroom or a group or a study group, which doesn't necessarily include people who share the same interests as you, even though they study the same things as you. But when you join a club, for example, I joined the physics club. Everybody there was into physics. So there you go. I want to go back to the subject of concepts.
Yes.
And I want your opinion on this. For example, when we look at the Arabic language and the English language, even the French language has the word science. The English language has the word science.
Yes.
What is the equivalent in the Arabic language?
Al-ulum.
Al-ulum. Okay. Do you think it has the same connotation as in English and French?
I think for the longest time, the word scientist, alim, was not really considered the same. It didn't have the same connotation as the one
as in English and
in
French.
French.
Yeah.
I think the equivalent was فيلسوف. Weirdly enough, most of al-falasifa in history, in Arabic history, you could read about them, and most of the philosophers back then were actually amazing scholars in different fields. They were tapping into science, they were tapping into astronomy, they were tapping into different fields. And I think that's the definition of a scientist. I don't think that a scientist should focus or mainly focus on one stream.
Let's stick with the term science.
Yes,
because a scientist can have his own beliefs.
Yeah, of course.
Which aren't related to science itself. But science is basically a method which proved to be very effective in finding out truths and finding out ways to exploit nature itself and understand how nature works. So the method is noticing how things work, doing experiments, coming up with possible explanations, and then doing the experiment, and then finding out a conclusion, or coming to a conclusion from those experiments. And the problem with the word al-ulum or alim in Arabic is that a lot of them considered, for example, astrology as ilm. With this, I'm talking about the golden age of the Arabic Empire.
Yes.
Okay, so I think the modern scientific method was invented by an Arab scientist.
Yes.
I think Ibn al-Haytham was the first one who really came up with, who really defined what the scientific method is. But when it comes to, for example, Al-Kindi, who is considered a scientist,
yes,
who came before Al-Haytham, I think, he did a lot of astronomy, a lot of physics, a lot of mathematics, but he also did a lot of astrology. And he really believed in astrology as a science. Now, at the time, we had no telescopes and a very limited understanding of
Very little of data.
physics and the universe, and we didn't really have tools to verify things, etc. But even today, when we say al-ulum in Arabic, you can find actually books, ilm astrology.
علم الفلك.
No. Ilm falak is astronomy.
Yeah.
Yes, but astrology is something else. Astrology is the science. It's how how the stars can affect our lives, or our daily routines and things like that, or our luck.
I never thought that. I knew that back in the day, astrology was considered as a science. I think a lot of people believe in astrology still. I think a lot of people.
But it's not considered a science anymore.
It's not considered as a science,
Yes.
for sure.
Even in Arabic, there are religious sciences, which is not something you can say in French or in English. If you notice,
it's not
but
even
there
a
is
concept.
al-ulum al-islamiyya,
Yes.
or al-ulum al-diniyya.
Yeah.
In English, in Arabic, and in English you can't say religious sciences or Christian science. That doesn't make sense. It has no. It's a contradiction in itself. You can't put these two words.
Religion and science together, yeah.
Yes, but in Arabic you could. So what this means is that al-ulum has a different connotation or meaning in Arabic than science
It
in
definitely
English
does.
and French.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think this has an effect on our society. Personally, I think I have noticed some effects of this. People think less rationally in Arabic countries than people in Western countries.
You're tapping into a very dangerous field, my
I
friend.
know. It is a little bit controversial, but I'm not absolutely sure in what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the case, and it's because of the Arabic language itself and the concepts behind it.
You do realize that the Arabic language is one of the richest languages when it comes to having equivalents. It is insane that in the Arabic language we have, I think, 52 names for a lion.
Lion.
The word lion. It has 52 different names.
Yes.
It depends on the context. It depends on the age of the lion. It depends on where does the lion live. It depends on in what concept am I talking about the lion. The fact that the nuances in the Arabic language are this deep makes me think that, Arabs are not that irrational when it comes to their thing. I think they have critical thinking. I think they do overanalyze even certain situations. Now, I'm not comparing modern days with ancient times. It's not the same.
Of course.
Our brains aren't developed the same way. Now, if we talk about, the ages from the past, if you think about it, people used to remember and learn by heart literally huge verses, poetry, anything you give them. They used to learn it by heart in 2 seconds. Do you imagine yourself learning poetry right now after I read it to you in 5 minutes?
But how useful is that, especially today?
Having a memory like that, it's extreme. For an interpreter, at least, it's extremely useful.
Well, maybe, but for example, as an engineer, as long as I have my equations in my phone, or as long as as long as I have access to them on Google.
What if your phone dies? What if you have no access to the internet
then
anymore?
there will be no engineering.
You see how complex that can be? Now, if there are
not really, because if the internet doesn't work, that means that machines are not going to work anyway.
Anyway, but if for interpretation, on the other hand,
of course,
I don't care if the internet goes on. I don't care if the world stops. I mean, everyone needs to communicate.
Yes, we still have to do diplomacy. And
I still have a job.
Yes.
Choose interpretation. Don't go do engineering.
Yes. So science in Arabic is al-ulum al-tajribiyya.
Yes.
And if we translate that back to French or to English, it's experimental science.
Yes.
But in English, when we say science, we really mean experimental science.
Yes.
But science in Arabic means a broader concept of science,
yes,
which can be detrimental for rationality.
Yes.
If you see what I mean. So yeah, I think that languages really affect how human beings think.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Agreed on that point.
Yeah.
Although we don't have the same vision when it comes to science, but let's not dive into scientists because again, totally different concept. But when we speak about science, I think we both have different understandings. Although the word doesn't have the same connotation from one language to the other, and it probably, it doesn't feel the same for Arabs as it does for foreigners when it comes to Americans, Brits, or God knows which country they come from.
Absolutely, yeah.
But here's the fascinating thing about languages. It's about cultures. Like when you understand the cultural differences between one country to the other, you understand that languages weren't just made up like from pure coincidence. There's an entire process behind them.
Yeah, forgery.
Literally, it's forged in a manner that helps the person explain exactly how they feel, what they think, taken regards with their culture, their religion, their understanding of things around them. And we use this example a lot in the translation department. I think most translation interpretation students have been through it, which is أثلجت صدري, or this warmed my heart. And this is where it's insane. It's just a cultural concept, simple cultural concept. Because in the West, they live in areas that are extremely cold. When you give them good news, they say, you warmed my heart, which is logical. Now, if you go to someone who lives in the desert, an Arab person, you go to them and you say, a good news, they would say, أثلجت صدري, because they live in the desert.
Oh, so which literally means you turned my heart cold, or you.
Well, أثلجت صدري, it means you, kind of.
أثلجت, what does it mean?
أثلجت, it's from ثلج, which means ice.
Oh, أثلجت.
أثلجت
Oh,
صدري.
your Algerian accent.
Regarde. I can't do anything about it, sorry. أثلجت صدري.
Okay,
there you go. But when you say things this way, it gives you more context. You understand that the environment of the person helped create an entire language. The way that people think from one area to the other can be completely different. Just here in Algeria, you said it, my Algerois accent. If I do speak like this in Constantine, which is where I'm originally from, they would laugh at me.
Of course, I laugh at you in my mind.
You do, I know. I know.
When I hear you speak in
Blida for the win, guys. Blida for the win.
Yeah. What do you think of do you have a Blidian accent?
You do. You say some words that are very Blidian, and I laugh sometimes.
That's cool.
Because they're cute. I don't laugh because I find them funny. I find them cute.
Yes, I don't say Hannoni, but I could,
Let's not go there. That can be taken as an offensive thing to say. I've learned that it can be taken as an offensive thing to say.
Outside of the wilaya.
But I love my Hannoni peeps. Love you guys.
Yes. The cringiest thing is when Al-Jawa people say Hannoni.
Oh my God, yes. Very cringy, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I can't...
Especially on TV.
I can't imagine you... Yes, on TV they do that a lot.
Yeah.
I can't imagine you coming to my house and saying, أعطيني تبيسي. I can't imagine you saying that. In my household, we say that. We say تبيسي, فنيجل. But if you come to my household and you say أعطيني فنيجل قهوة, I would just look at you and go okay, go out, get out of here.
Yeah.
Get out of here. We don't want that.
But I think my accent, my Algerian accent has a little bit of Blidian.
Yeah.
But if you really wanna hear Blidian accent, you have to go to the barber shop in Blida.
Can I have access to the barbershop?
I don't think so. No,
I don't think so.
But the way they speak,
yeah,
it's hilarious. It's
I think they would fire me if I go to the barbershop. I would like to try that. I would like to try two things.
No, I think the men there would be very uncomfortable. Would feel uncomfortable by the presence of a woman.
I think so. I used to spend a lot of time in my uncle's coffee shop when I was young.
Okay.
So that's when I picked up a lot of things, a lot of Algerois things from men. And I remember they used to bring me my little soda And I used to sit and learn how to play domino, and it was insane with my grandfather and my uncles. But never got the chance to go to the barbershop.
Okay.
I've never been to a barbershop. I should go to a barbershop.
I don't know how you could do that, but barbershops and coffee shops in Algeria is where men can spread their legs without the worry of a woman looking at them or judging them.
We need to put a camera in the barbershop or find a friend who's a barber. We need to be friends with a barber.
Every man is a friend with barber.
Well, but do we call him a barber? What's the name of the guy? Yeah, حفاف. What do we call him?
عيط الحفاف تاعي. I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess we need to be friends with حفاف. If there are any حفافين looking at us,
hit us up.
Hit us up.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to be friends.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so what did you do after master's degree?
Well,
before that actually, yes, you were already working and traveling. How did you land a job? Because this is very important.
Yes.
The Algerians grew up being told that they're not gonna find a job.
Yeah.
When it is time for them to find a job.
Yeah.
So how easy or difficult for you was it to find a job?
Yeah.
And what did you do to land a job?
Okay, so you should know that I started working quite early. I started working when I wasn't even 18. I started teaching. Mm-hmm. So that was the easiest thing to do for me, at least.
Oh yeah, in language schools?
Yeah, in language schools.
Yeah,
and
me too.
I was underpaid.
Me too.
I don't want to mention the names of the school, but I don't like you. Yeah. But basically, I had
a very good experience with my first school.
I didn't.
They didn't pay me very well, but I was satisfied.
No, they didn't. It wasn't about the payment only. It was the fact that I was disregarded as the youngest person in the staff, as well as the fact that I'm extremely tiny. So that didn't help.
Mm-hmm. How were you seen by your students? Did your students like you?
Well, I call them my kids. They're my babies. I still see them as my babies.
Okay, they were younger than you?
Yes.
Okay.
They were young. I think I started with kids who were 5 and 6 years old. And they were so cute. They were the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
And we grew up together afterwards because
because you were a baby as well.
Exactly. So I kept on teaching them.
Okay.
And in my adult life, which, by the way, I heard this then a few days ago, and it made me feel so relieved. And I think that it would make people feel relieved. Wow. When you're 18, you just entered your adult life. So when you're 19, you're basically a 1-year-old adult.
Huh. Okay.
And when you think about it this way, when you're 25...
I'm 14 already.
Yeah, you're a 14-year-old adult, I know.
No.
I'm what, a 3-year-old? No, 5-year-old adult. I'm a 5-year-old adult.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
So you're a 14-year-old adult.
Yes.
But basically, you're not going to be as tough on yourself as you are now when you understand that concept.
True.
So I was a baby adult, and we grew up together.
Okay, I see.
And we were having so much fun back in the day. I was lucky to be able to land that job. And afterwards, I started voiceover because people noticed that I have a good voice.
And yeah, you do.
It's not bad. Singing helped. Singing helped a lot.
Okay, so before we go to singing, how did you start voiceover? Where did you find opportunities?
Okay, so I used to sing since I was very young. And
where did you sing?
Conservatoire, Centre Culturel, برا. It didn't really matter to me. If I find a group, they have a guitar, they're singing, I sing. It's that easy.
Okay.
And I think afterwards there was this opportunity on the radio. I was 15, and it was Turbo Music, I think. And I went there and I started singing there, and it kind of, blew up. And people started contacting me because they were hearing me, speak before even singing, and they said, "Hey, tu as une voix radiophonique, so why don't you try this?" And I was like, "Okay." So I tried my first voiceover gig. It was great, and then afterwards, people started calling me for the voiceover, and I loved it.
Sorry, for who did you do it?
For the Ministry of Agriculture.
Oh, okay.
I know. I started with the ministry.
Okay, yeah.
So it was quite official, but it was good. It was حملة توعية, I think. It was a campaign. Yeah, it was a campaign. It was nice. I loved it. And then afterwards, I started receiving more offers, and this is why I was teaching and doing voiceover at the same time.
Yeah.
And then after I got my bachelor degree, I did something different, which was go to a high school. I started teaching at a high school. I think my high school students still remember me as their French teacher.
I can imagine that's quite an experience.
Oh my, yes.
Oh, okay.
My students really liked me. So
I can imagine.
They really liked me.
Yes.
I used to be the cool French teacher at the school. And it was this school, I'm not going to mention the name of the school, but it was this school at, you know, there was this sketchy neighborhood, and everyone told me, you're not going to go and work there. You're going to get kidnapped. And I went either way. I didn't get kidnapped. Mm-hmm. The students grew into liking me, I guess. And afterwards, they started having great grades.
We need to make a movie about this.
I know. And then after working there for a year or 2 years, yeah, it was almost 2 years.
Yeah.
It was almost 2 years. I decided that it's time for a new adventure. So I went for something else, and I started my internship.
I see. Okay, internship where?
As a translator, interpreter at a translation office.
Okay, so where do we... So a student like you could go to a translation office and then apply there?
Yeah, okay. It was my last year, my master's year. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I need to find an internship. Mm-hmm. Where can I go? It was the beginning of the year. It was, I think, October. And I just started looking around for translation offices. Someone told me that there was a great translation office with... my mentor, hi. My mentor is amazing. Mm-hmm. And I went to him. I didn't know him back in the day. And I went to him and I said, hey, I want to start an internship. And he looked at me, and I remember him saying these exact words. He said, I heard you're excellent. I said, I'm not bad. He said, okay. We can have two approaches. First of all, I can just tap you on the shoulder and tell you how great you are, which is something that will never be useful to you, or I can be extremely harsh on you and you can become really one of the best.
So whiplash style.
So I was like, okay, be hard on me. And he was like, oh, don't worry, I will.
Okay, okay. Okay.
And this is how I started my internship. And he was the meanest person alive. I hated him during my internship. But I completely adore him right now, because if he wasn't that hard on me, if he didn't write me full on, he used to write me emails that were this long, stating every mistake I've made with an idiom and an illustration of how stupid that mistake was. Okay,
the fact that he wrote emails shows that he cared.
He did care.
Yeah.
And he was very sarcastic, but in the meanest way possible. Mm-hmm. And I used to cry sometimes because of his emails.
Yeah. Have you seen the movie Whiplash?
No, I haven't. Should I?
Watch it, of course.
Should I? We should watch it together.
Watch it together. Okay, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. We should go watch it.
Yeah, I need to watch it again, actually.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Yeah. There's this meme that I saw yesterday, mm-hmm. which is I'm gonna show it to you actually.
Okay, let's go.
Which is when you tell a man that you haven't seen one of these movies.
We actually send each other memes a lot.
We do, of course. Right. Huh. Oh yeah.
Go.
So Whiplash is one of them.
Thanks.
Yeah.
This is very reassuring.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Whiplash is one of them, I think.
So we're watching Whiplash, mm-hmm. But what were you gonna say about Whiplash?
Well, the premise is there's this drummer mm-hmm. who joined an orchestra, and the maestro, I think it's called.
I think I know the movie.
Is like really mean.
I know the movie.
Oh yeah, you know the movie.
I know the movie. I've watched the movie, and he was going so hard on himself until he was bleeding at days. Yeah, I watched.
And there was this meme, which is like instead of telling him mean things, he was like very supportive, and like there was this text, like they replaced the meanness with supportiveness, like we've all been there. Take your time, breathe. we're gonna give you a minute. You were a tiny bit off, but it's okay. Don't worry about it.
I think you're
gonna get a hang of it.
This happens to me with my producers when we're either singing or doing voiceover. When we're in the studio, they're like, "Hey, it was a bit off. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's take a 5. Go get some water, and then we're gonna come
This
back."
is the modern way.
Yeah, and you're gonna be a star. And I just look at them like,
Yeah.
be for real, you guys, be for real. And I
Yes.
used to take it very badly because of the fact that my mentor was extremely hard on me.
Mhm.
And then on the other side, they were so sweet to me that sometimes I was like, okay, be mean. Say something mean.
Do you know the app Be Real?
Yes, of course.
Or do you use it?
No, I don't.
I need to use it again because it was quite fun using it with my cousins.
Yeah.
Like we would know what we were doing at the same time of the day.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we should use it together. I think I'm gonna download it.
Yeah, we should use Be Real. The problem with Be Real is that it always tells you to post things when you're not doing anything. Like
I think I won't have that problem. I think what would be.
Oh, you do things all the time.
I'm
Yeah.
busy. You know that.
Yeah.
I'm busy all the time. But the
Yes.
thing is, I am scared that I would be like in a very confidential meeting, and the Be Real.
Or you'll have to post something.
I can't.
You can.
I
Just
cannot.
take off your phone and be like.
I sign NDAs. I cannot do that. I cannot.
Okay.
But
Yes.
this is probably why I never used it. I think it's
Okay.
fun, but I never used it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went to interpretation office. You did your internship there.
Yeah, I started my internship, and after a few months, the first translations were horrible, and I felt extremely discouraged.
What do you mean translations were horrible?
Because I was
were
doing
they,
translation and
were they
interpretation.
oral translations?
No. I was doing translation and interpretation. I didn't want to let go of the translation part.
Okay, so you were translating documents.
So I was translating official documents. Yes.
Okay, how hard could it be?
Very.
Really?
Yes. You don't
Okay.
think about it because when you're a student, they always give you the easy stuff. And then you go to a translation office and he gets this 46, 47 pages long contract. And it has all of these like specific things that you need to write. And especially into Arabic, legal translation into Arabic, that's a nightmare. Like you don't want to do legal translation into Arabic. It's too hard. And I think a lot of people are good at it because of experience, but I think I'm still not the best at that. Yet I was doing translation and for interpretation, even though I was already interpreting, I was doing a little bit of consecutive interpretation for private meetings with different clients. He really didn't want me to start simultaneous interpretation, which was basically put you in the booth, give you a mic, and at the same time as the speaker speaks, you're interpreting, and people can hear you in the headphones. And he said, we're not going to, throw you into that. You're going to go, you're going to watch a couple of events, you're going to learn how it goes, and if you feel ready, we're going to do it. I was like, okay. And I remember my first event was programmed to be on Thursday. It was programmed to be on a Thursday, and it was agriculture. And I went to 3 agriculture events before my event to learn the terminology, to learn the techniques, to avoid making mistakes. And I was so stressed. And it's the French booth, so it's hard. I was interpreting into French.
Yes.
So the French booth is harder than the English
Yes,
booth.
even when you're not interpreting, it's hard to speak French. Because a lot of people are watching you, like, you better not make any mistake.
Not really, I think. I think we both were raised with mothers who were French speakers.
Yeah.
Both of us.
Yes.
So it kind of comes
I was
natural.
bullied into learning French.
You were bullied into learning
Well,
French?
not bullied, I'm exaggerating, of course, but whenever I would make a spelling or oral mistake, I would be shamed by my mother.
I still am shamed by my mother till this day.
No, I shame her. She makes mistakes.
She's the French professor. I can't shame her, even if I try to. I can't.
Yeah.
She's
my mom slips here and there sometimes. Now I make no mistakes in French.
It's great.
So I can like police
Say,
whole thing.
my! I mean,
Yeah.
you can do that with me too, because I still make a few mistakes here and there. I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie, but
But it's true. Granted, when you really understand the French language, at some point when you don't add that s at
Yeah,
the end
I
of the
know.
verb,
I know.
it's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Why
We're already hard on ourselves. Like, you shouldn't
Yeah.
bully us, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So you can imagine French booth, agriculture, not easy. And then he called me, I think, on a Monday. He was like, what are you doing right now? And I was painting. I remember I was painting in my room. I was like, I'm painting?
As you do, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I'm painting? He was like, okay, wash your hands, go change, or something, and go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And I was like, excuse me?
Okay, so this is the whiplash guy.
Yeah, and he was like, you're going to be with a great interpreter. She is amazing. She is supportive. If you feel like you're overwhelmed, you can let her do
Take
the
over.
entire interpretation, take over, and she will have a double payment for both of your work. And I was like, yeah, definitely. Like, it's an opportunity. I learned an opportunity. Let's go. And I remember it was with an embassy. It was with an embassy, and we went to the event, and we ended up doing English and French. And I ended up receiving a call from him saying that the client was very satisfied, that I did very well. And on Thursday, I went to my agriculture event. It went really well. And then people started discovering more of me, and they started taking my number. Other people were calling me for interpretation events, and this is how I got into conference interpretation.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
And now you're quite comfortable at doing this job. Like,
I am.
it's not too difficult for you, I guess.
It's always challenging. I would say it's not difficult, it's challenging. But for any adrenaline rush seeker, it's the job.
Okay.
It's the job. Like,
so don't
the
go,
dopamine.
Yeah, don't go bungee jumping. Go do translation.
I did bungee jumping before. It's fun.
Okay.
But yeah, interpretation has a high of its own. It's unique.
Yeah, this is the thing about you as well. It's like whenever I come up with something like bungee jumping, yeah, I did bungee jumping, but this, like, is there anything that you didn't do?
A few things, actually. I don't know how to ride a bike.
A bike or a motorbike?
No, like a bike. Bike.
Okay, I could teach you. That's very easy.
I know. Everyone is telling me I could teach you. It's very easy.
I could teach you right now at the end of the podcast.
Oh, I'm wearing heels, dude. I'm wearing heels.
I could bike with heels.
You could bike with heels?
Yeah.
Okay, let's buy you a pair of heels because mine won't fit
Okay.
you. Let's get you a pair
That's
of
actually
heels.
a good idea because a friend of mine told me I'm short recently.
You're short?
Yes. We're talking about...
How tall are you?
I'm 184 or 185.
You're not
With
short.
these shoes, I think I'm 186.
You're as big as my brother. You're not short.
Yeah, but so I was talking about the BMW Z3, which is a very small car.
Yeah, I know.
To this friend of mine, to Sami Lemouti, who is here in Algiers. I have to meet him. And
Hi, Samuel.
and he said that he was going to buy one, but he didn't fit in it. I told him I'm going to fit in it. He said, "Yeah, you're short." And then he apologized. He was like,
How
"I'm
tall
so
is Samuel?
sorry."
How tall is
He was like,
Samuel?
"I'm so sorry. I didn't mean you're short." He said, "You're just short compared to me." I mean,
How tall is Samuel anyway?
I took a screenshot of the thing
I
because
can't believe this. How tall is he?
he's over 2 meters.
Well, that explains a lot.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
He's a big man. He's he's quite something. Actually, last time he was in Algiers.
Yeah.
So I'm the Algerian podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the Algerian podcaster who should be known.
Yeah.
But Sami Lemouti, I went out with Sami Lemouti. Everybody was greeting him and was like, "Hey, Sami,
Oh my.
I follow you on YouTube and things
Oh
like that,
my.
etc." Yeah.
I cannot meet him though. It would be a long distance conversation.
It would actually. I have. We have a mutual friend,
Yeah.
which is Yasmin. Hello, Yasmin.
Hi, Yasmin.
But Yasmin is very short and he's very tall. So they have a photo together.
That's the
Which is very-
cutest thing.
It's the
That's
cutest
the
thing.
cutest thing.
Yeah. Also, you should see him in Japan when he goes to Japan
Oh my.
or in Korea.
Oh my.
He becomes like this attraction. So people go say hi to him and try to take photos with him because they've never seen anyone as tall as him.
Yeah, he's a giant.
Yes, at
He's
some
considered
point
a giant.
Yeah, at some point he wore samurai clothes, and everybody was like, "This is exactly what a samurai is."
I want to see that. I want to see.
Yeah.
You're gonna show me that later on.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait to see those
very
pictures.
cool. Yeah. But yeah, if I wear heels, maybe he's gonna stop calling me short.
I don't think he would. I think friends are made to have a roast-in ratio with each
Yeah,
other.
but he only called me short once, and it came from a sincere place.
You
Like,
called
it
me
wasn't-
short. You called me short before. I didn't take it badly.
Okay, I didn't take it badly out as well. Like
Yeah.
he really honestly believes that I'm short.
Well,
like I'm a
that's bad.
short guy.
Well, you're not. I can confirm that you are definitely not.
Yeah, I found it so funny, and he was like, "Oh, I called you short. I'm so sorry. You're actually pretty tall."
Just short compared to me.
Short compared to me. Yeah. Anyway, so now you're one of those people that we see during political crisis.
Yeah.
On the bottom left corner of the TV.
Yeah,
doing
I was on
translation.
TV for,
No. You're not translation or interpretation people aren't.
Well, it
But
depends.
you speak on the ears of politicians, I guess,
Yeah.
and important people.
The third person,
entrepreneurs.
the tiny chair in front of them.
Right.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
us. And sometimes you don't even see us. It's like boots in the back, and the only thing you can hear is our voices.
Yeah.
So it really depends.
Yeah.
We call the one where we're sitting next to people consecutive, and the other one where we're sitting in a booth simultaneous. They're both as challenging as one another. Well, in consecutive, you can take notes.
Oh.
And yeah, there's a whole technique for taking notes. It's an entire
Yes.
world. And then you have simultaneous interpretation, which is quite difficult as well because you don't have time to think. You just go.
Rush through.
Go.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
And the most impressive part is that we do rotations in the booth. So you never work alone in the booth. You need a booth partner, and your booth mate or your booth partner switches with you every 20 to 30 minutes. Because the attention span of a human being
It's 30 minutes.
is of, 25 to 30 minutes. So we do a maximum of 30 minutes per rotation, and then we sit down, we relax for 30 minutes, and we go back.
Okay, that's interesting. So it's as dangerous as piloting an airplane, I suppose, because you need to have another person with you.
Well, yeah,
And,
definitely.
Yeah, you could actually cause
War.
or diplomatic incident.
You have no idea.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
It's one of the hardest things when you find yourself interpreting for these very important people, sometimes ministers or presidents, and you're just sitting there and you're like, okay, I'm a human being who can probably make a lot of mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So how are we going to handle this? Like, how am I going to make sure that I'm not going to make any mistakes? You're probably going to make mistakes. So don't be too hard on yourself. Just trust the process, trust your training, and do what feels right, what seems right.
Okay. Have you ever thought of giving a different translation or interpretation in order to avoid a genocide? Something like that.
Something like that happened. Not a genocide, but something like that happened before. Where,
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. We had this client who came to us, and he was.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Have you seen the Obama bit?
Yes.
Yes. With the angry translation or interpretation of what he was saying.
I saw.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, so
it was
go
definitely
ahead. Yeah.
hilarious. But when it comes to it really depends on the client. Mostly we don't have the right to change anything. So we are very loyal.
Yeah.
We need to understand what the person is saying and then interpret everything he's saying. And even more importantly, you need to understand the nonverbal cues.
Okay.
So sometimes there are a few very important people who never finish their sentences. In Algeria, I'm saying. They never finish their sentences.
What?
Yes, they speak and then they just do something with their face or a gesture with their hands and they just like move on. And you have to interpret the entire sentence or it's going to seem like...
So these are like teenage girls.
Don't say that. They're very important people. So no,
they don't understand English.
I
anyway.
think no, not at all. I think a lot of people understand English. Don't never do that.
I underestimate people like this.
Don't underestimate people, because I've been in situations where I was speaking in English and I thought that the person doesn't know what I'm talking about.
But still,
they definitely do.
Have you seen the video of this guy who went to interview Algerian politicians?
Yeah.
And none of them understood what inflation meant. I think I sent
Yeah,
you
you sent me the
video,
link.
yeah.
You sent me the
so
link.
I do underestimate. No, I don't underestimate them. I estimate them at their proper value, which is very low.
I cannot. I can neither confirm nor deny
the
accusations in question. But I am. You're always going to have a diplomatic response when it comes to the way I see things. So okay. I'm not going to comment on this.
So sometimes you fill in the gaps.
Sometimes we need to fill in the gaps.
So while doing the interpretation, do you see the face of the person who speaks?
You have to.
Oh, okay.
You have to.
Yeah.
I cannot sit in the booth because the booth has like a view, so you can actually see everything that's going on in front of you.
Like on an airplane.
Exactly. Okay. So you sit, and then you have your headphones, you have your mic, you have your mute buttons, you have where you can switch, you have everything you need, and you're just sitting there and you're looking at people speak. And sometimes, I swear to God, non-verbal cues, they save the day. Because if a person just decides to not finish the sentence, or paraphrase, or choose to just stop in the middle of the sentence and say something new, you can save the day by non-verbal cues. Okay. So that's a huge part of interpretation as well. This is why it's very different from translation. There were incidents where a client came to us before, and they said, "Hey, we have this expert on board, and he's great. He tends to be quite offensive. He's old, and he's offensive because he is old. Just take it this way."
Okay.
And
he's from the 40s.
Yeah, we don't want our partners to feel like we
don't want them to feel
disrespectful.
Okay.
Like we don't want to offend our partners, okay. So please make sure to just like soothe things up. And we were like, okay, we'll do that. And I think that day, everyone made sure to not interpret everything that was being said, or to at least make things sound smoother, because it was the client's orders. So we can't do much about it. But sometimes, I swear to God, people say the most unhinged things, and we need to interpret that.
And you need to maybe absorb the thing and not amortir. How do you say amortir in English?
Amortir in English. I love how you treat me like Google Translation.
Yeah, but I think the concept of amortir doesn't exist in English.
Also, yes, yeah. I think so. I think we need to soothen. Soothen is a concept, and it can be seen as an equivalent, but it's definitely not the same thing.
Yeah,
as the word in French.
But give me some more anecdotes. I love the anecdotes from your.
I call you like literally every single time I work and there's an anecdote. I call you and I tell you about it.
Yeah.
So I think I've told you about all of my anecdotes over the phone.
Yeah.
Before.
So it's absorb. Absorb. Amortir. Absorb.
Absorb. You think that I'm gonna say in a sentence? Just use it in a sentence according to the.
Absorb the mean things. Whatever. I'm not a
Does it
translator.
sound correct?
It doesn't, no.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can't use it. This is what I'm saying. It's all about context.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about context.
Yes. But you do give me anecdotes every time. Actually, there's a nice anecdote every time
I go to work, yes.
Yeah.
And these past few days I was working with, management teams, HR teams, and engineers.
Okay.
And I love geeking around engineers. They're the best.
Really?
I love being around engineers. Now, there are different types of engineers, everyone. And I had the chance to speak with every single one of them where I was working. And they were so nice. And they tried to explain every single thing that they do in the most random, simplified way.
I have a question.
What?
Among the engineers, how many of them were females? What was the ratio?
4, I think.
4 out of what?
10.
Okay, that's good. That's
4
quite
out
good.
of 10.
That's
and
good.
they were young.
Okay,
They're
that's
freshly.
good.
They graduated, I think, last year or the year before. Everyone was very young on the team that we met. So the fact that we had like 4 engineers, actually, I was like, I'm proud of you girls.
Women in STEM.
Yes, I was so proud of them.
Yeah.
And I've been asked by my clients actually, how is the situation in Algeria? Do women have access to jobs which are important? It's like, yeah, definitely. Duh.
Yeah.
I'm here. They're here.
Yeah.
We're here. We're good.
Yeah, that's cool. So give me some anecdotes. So you're working with engineers, and
Yeah.
is this the first time you work with engineers?
I think it's not my first time working with engineers. I've had the pleasure of doing so with Sonatrach. I've had the pleasure of working with many companies, oil companies, and different construction companies, where I met a lot of engineers. My dad actually works in the line, and he is the one who trains engineers.
Okay.
Before they go into the construction. And so I've been surrounded by them during a very long time of my life. This is why they hold a very special place in my heart. This is why we're friends, by the way.
Because
you're
I'm
an
an
engineer.
engineer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you weren't an engineer, we wouldn't be friends.
Fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes. Is there anything you want to add in the subject of interpretation and translation before we move on?
I think one thing I would like to say to students who are doing translation and interpretation is try to not be so hard on yourself. Like, at the end of the day, you're human. At the end of the day, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to mess up.
Yes.
You're going to go out there and you're going to work and you're going to get yelled at.
Even if 2 countries go to war.
No,
okay.
No, don't do that. Make sure to not do that.
So you were giving advice
yes.
to people who want to do the same thing as you.
Yeah, just don't be too hard on yourself. You're probably going to be yelled at. You're probably going to have situations where you're going to feel horrible for the job you've done. You're not going to have great days every day. Stress is an integral part of the job. The anxiety before going into the booth is great. If you don't feel butterflies before you go into the booth, you're not doing something right. So just make sure to keep it cool, do what you need to do, and then go out and celebrate your small wins.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to talk about conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
Right. So there are a few, but conspiracy theories that we really believe in, like we believe that they really happened.
Don't do me like that. I am a very weird person. You know that. You know that firsthand.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call you weird. Why would you say about
You're
yourself?
weird. That's why you're saying that I'm not weird. Because
Maybe,
we're both weird.
Maybe, but everybody is weird. If you're not weird, it means that you're maybe hiding something.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, people who seem too perfect.
Too normal.
Too normal. Ooh, normies.
Yeah.
Normies.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think we know a lot of normies.
Oh, no, I don't include normies in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have a conversation with them. Even though sometimes when I'm stuck with normies, it's like I hold them and I take them to the sea of weirdness with me.
I think it's a very important part of our personalities to be weirdos together, and I love that.
I guess so. Yeah.
I love.
So, have you got any conspiracy theory that?
Yes. I think I spoke to you about this a couple of days ago. I sent you this video where this guy was saying Ramadan 2024 was completely different from any Ramadan that came before.
Okay.
And the Eid vibes were different. It feels like we see colors again in the world. I think since 2018, we haven't seen life the same way. And, well, it started in 2012, and then it started again in 2018, and then this year. And it just feels like there is something different in the air.
Like the colors change, the color palette of...
Not the color palette. It's like, you see, when we were looking, it's like we were looking at the world with a yellow-ish filter.
Okay,
but now,
sepia.
But now it just feels real.
More colorful.
More colorful, more positive, more nostalgic in a way. And everyone is talking about the world moving into the 5th dimension.
But depends. What do you mean by the fifth dimension?
No, let's not call it let's not give it a number. Another dimension.
Okay,
There you
another
go.
dimension.
We're going into a different dimension. According to people, according to the conspiracy theory out there, our world, it goes with the, I don't know what we call it, the Mandela theory.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, sometimes you think you see things in a way and then it's in a different way. Like people have noticed the logos of some brands that used to look a certain way and now they're completely different, and they have very good memory of how that logo looked, and they texted the companies, they contacted the companies, and they made sure to ask, did the logo change? And the company said no, yet there were letters that were different, drawings that were different.
Did they take photos of the...
Yes, and they have photos like back in the day on their little iPhones or little phones in 2007, 8, 9, and you could see that the logo was actually different. But people remember that it's different, but the company says we haven't touched anything.
Okay.
So it's weird.
But the photo can't lie, so...
This is... Well, the photo can't lie, in a way.
Yeah.
Don't say photos can't lie. It really depends on the
Yeah,
angle,
but-
if you think about it.
maybe that's true, actually. Yeah,
it
that's
really
true.
depends on the angle.
Yeah, that's
Photos
true.
can't lie.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've arrived to a place now in my life where anything weird that happens,
Yeah.
I blame it on CIA.
المشاكل.
Like absolutely everything.
You want to get us in trouble.
No.
No,
I think even the CIA takes pride in this.
I think they don't care, genuinely. I think whatever is meant to be done will be done regardless of what we think.
Yeah, like whatever you believe, it's the CIA. So there's a conspiracy theory which says that the hippie movement was hijacked by the CIA. So it was basically just a peace movement, and then they turned it into drug addicts, living like homeless people. So if you're against war, you're a drug addict, homeless.
You want to know my opinion about hippies?
Yeah.
Look, I love hippies. The 70s.
Whenever someone wants to trash on something, they say, "I love that thing." However, they are the absolute worst.
Yes. You should go on Twitter. There's this Twitter that says something. It's like, I believe in this and this and that. And then the first comment is, however, I will send it to you.
Okay.
And it's an amazing tweet. You'll laugh.
Yeah.
Yet, again, however, I love everything about it. The colorful wardrobe, the makeup, whatever you...
The music.
Especially the music.
Yeah.
In love with the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but however...
What about, excuse me, you like the music and the clothes, etc. What about the fact that they were peace advocates and peace activists?
Do you genuinely think that we can, if we lived in a world where people did not disagree with each other, do you think that world would be even the tiniest bit interesting? I'm not saying war is good.
Okay.
I'm not saying war is necessary. I'm not saying
on my
that.
watch.
I'm not saying that. God knows. You know that I'm the biggest peace advocate in basically...
I don't know that.
Well, I am. I tell you this all the time.
Okay.
I'm a cinnamon roll. Come on.
Okay.
Like, I cannot, watch violence.
I love peace. However, war is peace is the absolute worst.
No, not at all. I think that disagreeing with each other is an integral part of our being.
I agree with you.
Yet, it's the way we handle things. I read something somewhere which said your feelings, listen to this very well, your feelings are always great. They're valid. Your reaction to things, though, is not.
Except...
You can feel whatever you want.
Look, I love feelings.
No, you can... Listen to me. I know. Logic and... I'm going there.
No, it's not about logic. It's the problem is there's a whole Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the movie Poor Things by Emma Watson?
If it's a movie by Emma Watson, I probably watched it.
It's very recent. She got an Oscar for it.
If it's recent, I haven't watched it. I didn't have time. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
Don't.
But
yeah,
it's not good. It's not okay what they did.
I know, but
you know what it's about?
No, if you say it's not good, then I know it's not good.
No, the movie is really good.
Yeah, I know, but what they did.
What the movie, the message behind the movie is really bad. It's like it should be. Do you want me to tell you?
No, I want to watch it. Don't tell me. You know that I watch every single Emma Watson movie. Come on.
So go watch Poor Things and let me know what you think on the comments and YouTube.
I will. I'll probably be the first comment.
Okay.
I'll check.
Okay.
But mainly, I would say that again, everyone's feelings are valid. Their reactions.
Except if you're a pedophile, their feelings are not valid.
Do I even need to speak?
Of course, yeah, you need to speak because this is a conversation we're having at this point in time of history.
If you're a pedophile, you are sick.
Yes, your feelings are not valid.
No. Yeah. You are sick and you need help and you need to go to a psychiatrist. And if you feel like your feelings
There's no psychiatrist.
Well, if you feel like your feelings are valid and you should react upon them, then you shouldn't be among us. So
there's activism that defend pedophiles as being a natural feeling that human beings feel. Yeah.
So you're telling me that a 6-year-old who has no idea about her even going to become a sexualized being, and I'm talking about girls especially because we tend to be sexualized at a very young age.
Men as well, actually.
I know, which is horrible, by the way. And
it depends.
It's horrible.
By who you're sexualized. If you're sexualized by
women,
no,
you like it into
no, it's not like that. But if you're sexualized by the right person, that's good. That's okay in the right context.
I heard men tell me before, and this is legit. This is legitimate. I heard guys.
My wife sexualizes me.
No, I heard men. Oh, he's lucky. I heard men.
That's what I mean.
I heard men saying before, I would feel happy if a woman stalks me. I would feel happy and privileged
but it's because
if a woman sexualizes me.
No. It's because it never happens to them. But if that happened to them, they would realize how bad it would be.
You don't want to have a stalker.
And also, usually stalkers are people that we don't
necessarily feel attraction towards.
We're not attracted by them because as soon as we get attracted to them, they stop being a stalker.
Not just
the stalker is in the eye of the beholder.
The stalker is in the oh my god! We should print this on mugs and have like mugs.
Yeah.
Next time.
On T-shirts.
Yeah, like the stalker
is on the eye of the beholder.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Epic.
Because if it's your crush who's stalking you, that's amazing. That's great.
Not really. I mean, if anyone is stalking me, I am worried. Have you had a stalker before?
Yes.
Okay. Did you enjoy that?
Only when I liked them.
Only. The stalker that you had, did you enjoy being stalked by that person?
When I think of stalkers, I think of people that I did not like.
He's avoiding the question.
No, I thought of people that, like, they're not a stalker if I like them.
They are.
If someone I like looks at my stories and checks my I don't know. There's a thing with TikTok. It tells you who looks at your profile. Yeah. If it's someone I like, then it's great.
Look, my Gen Z people would understand this. So there's this TikTok that I've seen.
So I'm off the I'm gonna go.
No. You're fine. You're fine. You can sit. You're cool like that.
I'm a cool millennial.
You're cool like that. Yeah. So imagine if, for example, again, there's this TikTok, this woman. And she comes out on TikTok, which is an international platform that's open for everyone to see. And she says, I was next to this guy in the supermarket and he was going to pay his groceries before me. I ended up looking at his card. I got his full name, looked up his social media, found his mother on his social media, followed his mother, knew she was a part of a reading club, ended up going to that club, was the nicest to her. We ended up getting very close, and she ended up telling me that she has a single son. Now she planned an entire date for us. I went on the date, her son liked me, I'm now engaged. Should I tell him or should I not tell him
So
that it didn't happen by coincidence? Imagine if a person just infiltrates themselves in your life.
Yeah, whether they are a stalker, whether this is creepy or not, depends entirely on how hot this woman is. If she's like a 9 or a 10, then that's the greatest thing that ever happened to that guy.
Aren't you
If she's a
mesmerized by men?
if she's a 4, then you should run, man. She's crazy. Because the thing is, with men, we cannot accept crazy as long as she's hot enough.
So the Barney scale actually exists.
Oh.
How I Met Your Mother, you know, the Barney scale?
Oh, it's the Barney scale. It's I know the hot and I know the hot crazy matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hot crazy matrix actually has some truth in it. Yeah.
Not 100%.
Not 100%. I think it's the same with women.
No.
Have you seen the hot crazy version of for women?
Well, yeah.
It's it's how rich he is.
Of course I saw.
If he's rich enough, it doesn't matter how hot he is.
Listen.
This is the fun zone.
Not really. I think it really depends on the woman, because if a woman is the eldest daughter, hyper independent type, she wouldn't really give a damn about how much money you make. As long as she's making her bag, she doesn't really care. What we do like about men is not them being rich, but them being gentle and polite and dominant in the relationship. So basically, if I'm with you, if I'm going out with you and we're going to have lunch, the least you can do is be a gentleman and pay for lunch. Come on. I don't care if you make $2.
No, it's not about that. It's just that I have experiences that contradict what you're saying.
What do you mean?
I've dated people that to whom I was very nice, very polite, very gentle, but they judged me, and I was freshly out of university. They decided that I wasn't doing good enough for them.
For all the girlies?
In terms of money. And they were creating problems out of nowhere in order to break up with me because of that. Yes, and they really told me that this is why we were breaking up with you. It's because you were broke at the time.
For all the girlies that called my buddy broke at the time, shame on you.
No,
shame on you.
Yeah.
Shame on them, because here's the thing: when you're at uni,
it's their loss. I mean, look what they missed out on. Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm single, ladies. So
I'm gonna cut this off. Yeah, This is not gonna make it.
It is gonna make it.
No,
Guess why?
Why?
Because you're actually a great catch, and if a woman cannot see that, if a woman cannot see how great you are, then excuse me, but they're lost.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think I would have been. I think it's for the best.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. Imagine if you ended up with a girl who secretly thought that you're broke and that's the only thing that she cared about. That would have been like a mess on the long run.
Yes.
So it's good that she broke up with you.
Yes. And no, the thing is, the reason why I don't regret past encounters is that I've evolved. And I can do better compared to what I could do before.
Yeah, I think we all grow into.
So the problem is when you're in a relationship with someone early in your life, and then you evolve into someone better, and then you realize, I could do better than this now. So I wish I was single, and I wish I didn't meet this person, didn't get into this thing with him too early in my life. If you see what I mean. This happens to a lot of people.
Yes. I see a lot of 19-year-olds out there.
I'm sorry for interrupting you again.
Yeah, sure.
But when you're young, you buy a cheap economy car or a used car.
Yeah.
Right. But then you work hard, you make some money, you buy a brand new car, better car, more premium car. But you can't do that with partners. So better wait.
Now.
Better wait.
Now.
Yes.
I mean, look.
Well, you could do that with partners as well, but it wouldn't be very morally.
Listen.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It's a very controversial topic.
Yeah.
Now, when we speak about relationships, I think as a woman, women should take time to actually, if they went through trauma or through bad experiences in the past, whether it is with their households being chaotic / toxic, or with their partners, I think they should take the time to heal. The first mistake that women make is jump from one partner to the other extremely fast. And they think that helps within the healing process. It does not. This is not your sign to go stalk that boy. It's not. Stop stalking. Stop talking to guys. Heal. Work on yourself. Get better. And then you automatically will attract people who are not as messy as the other people who were before you. Now, if you take that concept and you apply it on what we just said, a 19-year-old who just started her adult life, she's like a 1-year-old adult. This is what we were talking about. A 1-year-old adult is out there looking for a partner who is, enough for her basic needs, basically.
For her 1-year-old self.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your 1-year-old adult self would basically think, if he's attractive enough, if he's a little bit smart...
No. If he texts me back. Yeah.
We're going to go with that. That's not even a standard.
Yeah, but for an 18 or 19-year-old, that's good enough.
God. Listen.
That's good enough.
If he's not even like doing the bare minimum, which is literally treating you like a woman, making sure you get home safe. So, as I was saying...
Bare minimum.
The bare minimum. The bare minimum is being treated like a human being, like an adult, which means that if they're not including you in their day, if they're not being communicative, and I mean actual communication where there is mutual understanding, if that isn't present in a relationship, like if he's not even not texting you back, because you're not supposed to be texting him first either way. So,
okay.
She's not. So if he's not even texting in the first place, he's not even trying to communicate with you, he's not that interested, or he's only looking for something that's like quick.
Well, okay, but for some people, especially at the start of their adult life, the bare minimum is good enough.
Yeah, but it won't be in a year. This is what I'm saying.
It won't be in a year because okay, so I know we're talking about adults, but when we were in high school, the last year of high school, no, the second year of high school, we had a classmate, female classmate, who was in a relationship with someone, who was 1 year older than us. He was doing their baccalaureate on the year of the baccalaureate, and we were on the second year of high school. So he didn't get his baccalaureate. She was with him. She was in love with him. She was her girlfriend, his girlfriend, etc. And then we did baccalaureate together. We had our back, and he didn't. So his girlfriend had her back, and he didn't.
She ended up dumping him when she went to uni.
So the first thing she did is dump him.
Logically.
Yes, because at some point she was evolving, and he wasn't. And this created an imbalance in their relationship, and he went crazy because of that. He took it really badly, but I don't think she had anything else to do. At some point she went on and dated someone from university.
I think she did have a choice, because I personally
would have stayed.
I personally know someone who stayed in a relationship like that, who had their partner not have their baccalaureate, and they still went to uni, and they stayed with their partner for a year until their partner joined them, and they were in the second year and their partner was in his first year, and they still were okay. Again, on the long run though, they ended up breaking up.
There you go.
Spoiler alert, they ended up breaking up for another reason.
Entropy is inevitable. But the thing is, I think a lot of divorces happen because of this. It's either the couple grows apart. Not just grows apart. I think it happens when one of them evolves much more than the other. Okay, so they met in the 90s. They got married at the end of the 90s. And now we're in 2024.
Yeah.
And one of them is very attractive,
Yeah.
has a life, makes a lot of money.
Yeah.
He meets people. And the other doesn't. The other is like almost an old man or an old woman now. What happens then?
I love the fact that he said old man before an old woman, because all I could think of
No. I know couples
Yeah.
where the man is really lagging behind the woman in terms of attractiveness,
Yeah.
and in terms of how interesting they are, in terms of what they did with their lives.
Even the fact that they don't provide for their women anymore.
Yeah,
A lot of men who don't provide.
Yeah, because the women are making so much money now.
That's insane.
Yes,
That's insane.
their
to me.
salary means nothing to them. So at some point, these women get really frustrated, and it happens with men as well. Like sometimes the men, they are both 50. He looks very young. She looks like an old lady. This happens. So what? I think this is the cause of a lot of divorces, especially here in Algeria. Yeah.
I think
A lot
before we reach the phase of divorces, I think this is why my dad used to tell me, choose your partner carefully, because you're not choosing a husband, you're choosing a father for your children. And this
A father for
your
children. Yeah.
So
I thought you said a father for you, because
oh
that's
my-
also a thing.
I have one. Thank you. I do have one.
Yes. But yeah, some people really, really look for a father. I saw this.
They look for a father figure within the person, and that's daddy issues. Girly, go to therapy. It's the only thing I can say. Come on, like if
Yeah.
you're looking for a father figure in a man, go to therapy. That's it. Daddy issues are attractive when a guy is 19. When he's 25, he's not going to be attracted to that. Trust me, he's going to see it as crazy, cuckoo. Don't do that.
Sure.
So you know that better. You were 25 and you stopped.
Yeah, and I was 19 as well.
Yeah, the
Yes.
daddy issues were a thing. There's this video of this Arab guy actually. He was on an interview with like a TV channel, and they said, "What are the criterias of your future wife?" And he said she should be a good wife, and she should be attractive, and she should have daddy issues.
Oh.
I swear to God, and I
Okay.
will send you the video. It's hilarious.
No. It's better when she doesn't have daddy
Of
issues.
course,
Yeah.
it's better when she doesn't have any issues.
Yeah.
But hey, we all have our problems.
We'll soon have sex robots, so it's okay. Well, they're gonna be perfect. They won't have any issues. There will be updates that fix every issue that come with them.
Okay, this is getting. This is why you shouldn't date engineers.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, yes. Yeah. I'm actually gonna work
The conversation is going to a very weird place.
I think in the near future I'm gonna be working on something that's related to this.
No, don't. Like, why the hell would you even think about that?
No, because I'm gonna work on robots.
Yeah, you're gonna work on robots. You're not gonna work on that
Well,
kind of
eventually someone is gonna turn them into sexual machines. I'm absolutely sure.
I think
of that.
everything is sexualized in our time. I think women are, robots are, kids are, animals are. I think there's no limit.
Cucumbers are sexualized.
Ew. I actually used to like them. Now I don't. Thank you. Now I don't like them anymore.
Yeah.
To eat. Anyways, so basically that part's going down.
No, it's not.
It is. That was too weird.
Okay.
But basically, what I mean by this is that
Cucumbers.
no, not cucumbers.
Okay.
No cucumbers in the conversation.
Okay.
Genuinely, when we are talking about relationships, just remember, if you're 19, you're a 1-year-old adult, and when you're 5 years old, you're gonna have different priorities, and the bare minimum is gonna change. The bare minimum for me now is completely different from the bare minimum when I was 20. And this time, I remember back when I was 20, when I start thinking about it, all I could think about is how low were my standards. I was okay if a guy just texts back. I was like, I'm happy.
He texts me back, yeah.
Who are you to have that power over me, to make my mood go up or down, or to I don't give a damn right now about who texts.
But I think it has a logic in it, because when you're looking for the bare minimum like that, it's because you don't want the responsibility to provide yourself more than the bare minimum. Like, you want to have a partner with whom you provide each other with the bare minimum. I think this could work when you're 19, when you're
you just called me out, you know that.
Oh yeah, but I think when we talk about imbalances in couples, I think they happen when one of them provides more value than the other. So like, it's okay if you aged really badly. It's okay if you're not making much money compared to your partner, as long as you're compensating that with something else.
I think, marriage is different. And this is something that I mean, like, you need to understand that during a marriage, it's never going to be 50-50. Some days it's going to be 80-20. Some days it's going to be 90-10.
Yes, but
you just need to make sure that it's not all the time.
Oh yeah. But sometimes you provide more than your partner, and sometimes your partner provides more than you. But when it goes too long, during which you provide, and when I say too long, I mean decades, during which you provide more than your partner, at some point you will feel frustration, and it's completely natural.
It's completely natural, but again, it's not an excuse to cheat. We don't like cheaters. We hate cheaters.
Yes, just break up.
Like, get a divorce.
Yes.
I don't care. Just don't have values.
Or talk to your partner and tell them, this is not enough for us.
I feel frustrated.
I feel frustrated. Yeah.
This is why I was talking about communication, basic communication. He doesn't need to text you back. He needs to communicate with you. He needs to tell you, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And it's very important for girls or women who are looking for men out there. If you're looking for a man, make sure he knows what he wants, and most importantly, what he doesn't want. Because a man who knows what he wants and what he doesn't want will forever be a man that will not put you in a confusing spot. So the mixed signals thing, it's not going to exist with him. He's just going to know what he wants and what he doesn't want. And the first day he's going to tell you, I want this to be a quick thing. I just want, to have fun. I respect that. If a man tells me that since day one, and you should listen. You shouldn't try to change him. You shouldn't try to think that he will change eventually. It won't. If he tells you that, listen to a man. He will always tell you the truth. If he is brave enough to communicate something for you, like with you, he's probably being truthful. If he tells you I want something that's not going to last for long, he just wants a quick relationship. If he wants a partner for life, he's going to make sure to voice that as well. Yeah,
and sometimes you don't want a quick relationship as well. Like, I don't really think, I'm not talking about you personally, but people really need to think what they need at what stage of their life.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people commit too young. This is what I want to talk about, is the fact that you're just out of high school and you're already committing to a relationship.
Don't.
Yeah. No, give yourself time to really see what you can do in life, who you can meet in life.
Who are you?
Yes, and who you are before finding out who you want to spend the end of your life with. Because the problem with relationships is that you're not trading cars or phones or laptops.
Yeah, you can't get the newest iPhone.
Yes, you can't just spend money and get the latest thing. So you're going to be stuck with someone. If you're stuck with someone, you better choose wisely, and you better take time to choose. So I think this is very important. And a lot of people, romanticize just meeting someone very young and being faithful to them forever. And I think they should really consider whether they're going to be frustrated or not in the future.
Being faithful is...
Maybe faithful is the wrong word.
There you go. Being faithful is a part of a person's values and principles. If you have values, you're going to stay faithful. The thing is, don't confuse being faithful with staying in a place where you feel stuck. Now, if you end up feeling stuck or you're going too fast and there's so much progress in the person that you are, but your partner isn't showing any progress, if you feel stuck with them, just communicate that and get out of that situation. It doesn't make you a bad person.
There's also another option too,
It
which
is an option.
which is helping out your partner.
Actually,
Investing in your partner. Like, for example,
Yeah.
you make way more money than your partner. Why not investing in them? Like, ask them, do you have any business ideas you want to do?
I think it really
Something like
depends.
that.
Look, I think that I'm not investing in my partner. If he has the business idea and I have the money, I'm not investing in him. We're investing in a project together.
Yeah.
And this is something that women and men should understand. If your partner has an idea that's worth your money and worth your while, and please just be objective in your judgment. Don't throw money at them just to help out, because that's just
that's wrong. Yeah, absolutely.
you feel pity
I
for
agree.
them? No, don't feel pity for them.
I agree.
Come on.
I agree.
They're better
No.
than that. So just if you have the money and you want to invest in a project and you see that they have an idea, they're also investing with their idea and the execution of the idea, because at the end of the day, no one can execute the idea better than the person who got it in the first place.
So I have a friend, a female friend. She has a boyfriend, and the thing with her boyfriend is that he plays guitar, and the thing with him is that he would spend most of his time just playing video games or playing guitar in his house or in his room for days and days and days. Barely goes out. Meanwhile, she likes to go out. She likes to do things. She like progresses in her career. Like, things happen in her life.
Stop calling out people.
Yes, he only plays CS:GO and plays guitar. He's very good at playing guitar. He's a very good guitar player. So what did she do at some point? She went to him and told him, okay, you go into the US in like a month from now. You've been accepted to a program. I signed you up for it.
She signed him up?
Yes, she signed him up. Sent all the emails that he needed to send, verified all his papers, documents, etc.
I love her.
And at some point he was like, just get your stuff together, give me your RIB so that they can send you the money for you to be able to pay for the travel ticket, things like that.
That's amazing.
And now he has a kind of a career in the US as a guitar player.
Wait a second, though. Are they still in a relationship? Oh my God, men! Men.
And it was
Wait.
100% his fault.
Men.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where you should put the coffee emoji.
Yeah.
Girlies, go in the comments. But seriously, men, how the hell would you let go of a woman
Like that?
who
Yeah,
took-
I agree.
Because you don't know, like, the procedures to get a scholarship or like a spot in a program in the US.
It's super
The
difficult.
procedures are exhausting. She spent nights filling out application forms for
Yes.
him and making sure that everything was great for him just to go. And then he goes out there and he just gets with the first chick. Come on, dude, you're better.
Yeah.
Do better.
Yeah. It's too bad for him, though.
He lost a gem.
Yeah,
he lost a gem.
He
And
lost
now
a gem.
another man is probably, enjoying that gem. And congrats to the man who got with that woman, because
Absolutely.
she's amazing.
Absolutely.
I love her.
But yeah, this is an example of what to do in order to avoid frustration with your partner. Because if she hadn't done that, eventually he wouldn't have had much of a career as a guitar player, and she would have evolved way more than him. Because she ended up going abroad to work abroad as well. The same thing she did for him, she did for herself as well.
I do not doubt that.
Yeah.
I do not doubt that.
So
The fact that she had, this is the thing, for the women out there and even the men out there, before you start a relationship and you say, I love someone, make sure you love yourself just as much. If you cannot treat yourself just like a loved one would treat you, you're not ready to commit in a relationship. Go love yourself, learn to love every part of yourself, treat yourself like someone who loves you would, and then go out there and get into a relationship. How did we end up talking? We always end up talking about relationships. We always end up talking about this. But I think it's a topic that should be You know,
it should be more talked about.
it should be more but
Especially in our society, it's a taboo.
it's a taboo in our society. But I think everyone has been.
Relationships don't exist. Like that's how Algerians.
Buff. Relationships do exist. You've been in them, or you know someone who's been in them, so they do exist. And the thing is, I've seen so many people like YouTubers, podcasters, and everything, who mention relationships as, you know, this vessel that can contain you, and like your partner should be there to do this and that and this and that. Your partner shouldn't do anything for you. They should just live their life
and sign you up for scholarships and programs.
Yeah, if your partner isn't doing that for you, change. No, I'm just kidding. Be loyal.
Yes,
Stop messing around. But yeah, mainly they should be a vessel for you. They should be this for you. They should be that for you. They shouldn't be anything for you. You should be everything for yourself. If you're content in your own presence, then a partner would be a person that you would happily share your life with. But they shouldn't fix you. It's no one's responsibility to fix you. No one is coming to fix you.
Don't date someone expecting therapy from them.
You know, some people are acting like all of the therapist friends out there, love for you.
Yeah.
Some people are acting like therapists, even though they're not even in a relationship with the person, and they end up in this weird situationship where they're, you know, taking care of someone and making sure that they have everything they need, but they don't get anything in return. They don't get a text in return. Like, the disrespect is so high. Why would you go through that? Why would you put yourself through that?
Yeah.
You're so much better than that.
Absolutely.
If you're such a good person and you take care of everyone and you make sure everyone's doing well, make sure to check up on yourself sometimes. Make sure you're doing well. Because, you know, if you're not, how can you take care of anyone? So put yourself first. Put yourself first.
Yes, and you should listen to me because I'm doing great.
Yes, he's amazing, and he's single again.
Oh my God. I'm gonna have to find, because when I edit my podcast, I don't really listen to them again. I just look at the graphics on the audio.
Like the chart?
Chart on the audio track.
Yeah.
And I know when you're talking, I put the camera on you, and when I'm talking, I put the camera on myself.
That's how you edit your podcast?
Yeah, but I don't listen to them again.
Why the hell wouldn't you like watch the entire thing again?
Because it's over 2 hours. Who's gonna watch?
Who's gonna watch it? He just said who's gonna watch it. I think your followers on Instagram and on YouTube are going to watch it. So there are some people who are actually going to be interested. Who knows?
On average, like 60 people a day listen to my podcast.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, in my opinion. And also, I think I got to 250,000 plays.
Oh my God, so proud
That's
of
a
you.
lot for a podcast.
I'm so proud of you. That's amazing.
Yes.
I just listened to your podcast actually with Rouge. Well, a small, tiny clip that you shared on your Instagram. Yeah. Loved it.
Oh, it was very interesting.
I loved it. Yeah. It sounds extremely
What the guy is doing is amazing. He's
mesmerizing.
Yes, we're getting acquainted to our own urban culture through him, which is something amazing. I think content creators are really changing things, and it's something good. TikTok is good. A lot of people criticize TikTok. I used to criticize TikTok. I thought it was weird that videos weren't longer than a minute or a minute and a half, and they were in portrait format. But now I really see the value in that platform.
I don't know.
I do. I really do.
Listen, I see the value in good content creation, which isn't something that we see a lot in Algeria. Unfortunately, people are too busy watching Marital drama. Like, I am so sorry.
You know what's the trending hashtag on TikTok? Algerian hashtag on TikTok?
What?
الشعب الصيني ما له حل.
I have no idea what that means.
And when you click on that,
yeah,
you find videos of girls dancing. So this is the most watched videos in Algeria.
Like,
TikTok videos.
Are we? It's like we always criticize our grandparents who didn't buy any land for us, when it was too cheap, and we put videos of them like they were dancing while people were making sure to buy land. We're doing the same exact thing by watching TikTok.
Yes,
dancing.
but I think if you see things like that, like the most watched videos on TikTok are women dancing. So these are erotic videos.
In a way.
Yes, in a way. No, they are. They just are.
In a way.
They're not. It's not really porn, but it's on the same length as that.
Listen, there's an art into dancing, and then there's just dancing for views.
They not the people who look at dancing. They're not into the dancing moves. They're into the dancing shapes. So if you see what I mean. So,
Men.
but no, but it speaks a lot about our society.
I think
we're at 50% of Algerians who are able to be married are not married, are single.
Yeah, because life is expensive.
Because life is expensive.
Yeah, it's not easy to get married.
Yes,
it's not very easy to find a partner who would take you when you're not doing that well.
Sometimes it's difficult with parents, with family, things like that.
Exactly.
So the Algerian people are a horny bunch, frustrated bunch. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I think that it's very sad and unfortunate to see that this is like the most trending thing on TikTok. This is why, by the way, I don't see.
So we're there on the pyramid of Maslow. Mm-hmm. We're on the very base. We're looking for food, sex, shelter, things like that. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's not TikTok's fault.
It's not TikTok's fault, definitely not. This is why I said content creators are making a change, but good content creators, not all content creators. Now, when I see Ruji's content, I love it. I love it when he speaks about imperfections, architecture.
Millions saw his videos.
Yes, and I love them. I love the fact that he does them in 3D. It's a completely different notion that we didn't see before from content creators in Algeria. And the fact that he took his profession and made it something that's enjoyable to watch and to learn about.
Yes.
Having videos that are amusing and fun to watch is extremely hard. And people don't understand that. They don't understand that the whole process of content creation is actually very hard and very difficult to do.
Absolutely.
This is why not anyone can have a platform and, a public. Yet, again, when it comes to TikTok, those 30 seconds to 60 seconds videos, I think we're frying brain cells more than anything. Even if there is something good that you can take from TikTok, I think there is a lot of misleading information. For example, my friend sent me this TikTok this morning. This very morning. It was 7 a.m. Yes, we send TikToks at 7 a.m. So she sent me a TikTok.
Weirdo.
Yeah, I know, weirdos. It's a whole community. So she sends me this TikTok and it says, girl, if you feel like your inner child is comfortable around people and alive and out with some people, then those are the people you should be around. And the first comment, I put a comment on it and I was like, no. If your inner child was raised in a toxic environment where chaos was a typical Tuesday, you should be worried because home is not always a good place, If those people feel like home, it means they're a mess, they're toxic, they're bad. This is what you're used to. It's a pattern.
Okay.
So you need to break the pattern. You need to be healthy, heal your inner child, and then say things like this. You don't just throw it out on TikTok with millions of views.
True.
And girlies out there are going to believe that every single time they're going to be with a guy and they feel like a child, he's a great guy and they should be around him.
Yeah.
He's probably toxic.
Yeah, I've had experiences of someone being bothered by me not being overly jealous. Something like that.
That's another topic.
So I had this, I think this is back in 2019. I was dating someone and we went to an event, like a conference, and there was her ex there. And her ex was doing the event. We couldn't not bump into him.
You should have had a very successful ex. That's your problem. Yeah?
Yeah. The guy is great.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I was like, hey, how are you? And I was with his girl.
You were fangirling.
No, I wasn't fangirling. I was like, hi, how are you, man? Things are good.
Yeah, but you were like a fan.
No, I wasn't a fan. I was just like,
Were you too kind?
I was too kind with her ex, of course. I wasn't too kind of her ex. I was polite and kind and things like that. And she thought that was very weird. Like you two should fight for me.
No, that's very.
And I told her, look, you can go and congratulate him if you want.
Yeah.
And she thought that was really bad.
Listen, now I believe. I don't know.
A little bit of healthy amount of jealousy
is always good, you know? A healthy amount of jealousy is always good. I feel like, no. I genuinely feel like if a man is truly in love, if a man is...
I was probably not truly in love,
If a man is in love with a woman or very interested in a woman, he would be territorial. He would be... No. He would be territorial. He would just... he would just be in a position where he's not going to be too kind and too sweet to her ex. He's just going to be like respectful of his presence, of course. He's not going to go fight with him, but at the same time, he's not going to go hug him.
Yes, but at the same time, for me at the time, the fact that I went to him and shook his hand and his whole body with his hand as well, and the fact that
You shook his whole body. That's
and
just
yeah,
weird.
and the fact that I had the girl with me.
Yeah.
So it was like I did like no, I did celebration laps around him.
That was no.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. But like I showed him. No, I didn't show him anything. I was confident enough to show him that he's not a threat to me. That's how I saw it.
I am comfortable.
Like, I'm not going to be scared of you.
Listen.
And stay away from you and be like, her ex is here.
No.
I come to you and I talk to you and I bring your ex to you and show you that even if you talk to her and she comes and congratulates you, you're not gonna take her back from me. Like that's my
Look, we love a confident man, okay? We love a man who knows his worth and who knows that his girl is just not going to run off with the first guy that comes. We love that. At the same time,
yeah, we love something. However, it's the worst thing in the world.
However, it's not the worst thing in the world. I think you being confident enough to go to that event, knowing that her ex is the one who organized the event, is already something that shows that you're actually confident and comfortable enough to be around him. You don't need to go and hug him.
No, I didn't hug him,
but
I came across him. I am not going.
You came across him. You just say hello. Very interesting event. Love it. Good luck, and you leave. You don't go like, hey, great work. Such a fan. You don't.
No,
go
I didn't say such a fan.
Yeah, but basically
but I shook his hand. I was like, great, what you're doing.
I know you, and you're happy. Were you smiling?
Of course I was.
Don't.
But like, I was genuinely impressed by the event.
Well, even if you're genuinely impressed by the event, you can't fangirl about your girl's ex.
I wasn't fangirling.
Well, it sure felt like it. I know the girl's
You weren't
POV.
there.
Well, I know you. That's enough for me. Like, I know you too well. I know you too well to know how you reacted to these things.
But no, to me, it wasn't like I didn't show any.
You weren't really into the girl. Let's be honest. You liked her. She was nice, but she wasn't someone you would like, look at and just gaze at her for.
Yeah, she finds the podcast very boring, so she probably is not watching. Yeah.
Well, you see, girls, if he's
if you find his podcast very boring, you're probably not the one.
You're probably not the one for Amin. Also, if a guy is not, let's say, territorial in a healthy way with you, that means that he's not that interested.
Yeah, if he's not starting wars and going to
wars.
conquest for you.
Oh my God. Don't listen, even a guy who fights with people for you is not a healthy guy. Genre, sincèrement, I think a guy who goes the extra mile and goes like, I will kill for you, and I will like I saw this TikTok last time. There was this guy who said نحرق بليد على جارك, and I laughed my eyes out. نحرق بليد على جارك.
Why Blida specifically?
Why Blida isn't burnt yet? You should ask him that.
Yes.
Whoever he sent
All
that
talks
message to.
and no actions.
Everyone is alive and well in Blida, so you just talked. You didn't do anything.
Yes, we're in Blida. Blida is fine.
Blida is great. Blida.
Yes.
Actually, I've enjoyed Blida so much lately.
You weren't in Blida though. This is a
Come
problem.
on, I was in Blida. It was Boubegra. Boubegra is a part of Blida.
It's not a part of Blida. There's a whole highway between Boubegra and Blida.
I don't know.
There's a 20-kilometer highway.
In Boubegra, they told me that I was in Blida.
Okay, so legally, you were in Blida.
I was legally in Blida. That's enough for me.
Okay. But
Yeah.
Blida is a city more than it is a wilaya.
You should really.
So it's like New York. There's New York City and there's New York the state.
Well, yeah.
So if you're
in Manhattan, for example.
yeah, if you're in the Bronx,
Yeah.
you're not really in New York, are you?
You're kind of in New York. If you're in Queens or the Bronx, you're definitely in New York.
Okay, so what is
This is
What
coming
is-
from someone who knows New York.
what is New York State but not New York City?
I don't know, Manhattan, I guess.
Manhattan is New York. It's part of New York City, I guess.
No, it's not.
It is.
Kind of is, but
It
it's.
really is. Manhattan is New York City. Come
I
on.
don't know. I don't know.
It's
I don't
it's
know.
almost the city center of New York City.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Still.
No, there are. So, there's New York Airport
Yeah.
is in New York State,
Yes.
not in New York City.
True.
There you go.
Well, if we think like this, where did I go last time? Oran, I think. I was in Oran, I think. And the airport is quite far from the actual city.
Okay.
So le centre-ville is very far away from the airport, and we needed to take like cars and we had people waiting for us to take us by car to go to the city. And I was asking questions about Oran because I went there a few times before, but I never went there for work. And I was asking like, where's the venue? Where do we work? How far is it from the hotel? I was asking all of these questions, and people were like, you're not in Wahran.
Yeah. You're not.
And then I said, hey, we should go to Santa Cruz. And they said, yeah, it's not in Wahran. It's not in Centre-ville.
Wait, Santa Cruz is not in Wahran?
It's not in Centre-ville.
It's on the
very
top of
far.
a mountain.
Yeah, it's very far.
Yeah.
So they were like, when you're in Santa Cruz, you're not in Wahran, the Centre-ville. You're in Santa Cruz, which is quite far. It's in Wahran, the state, the wilaya, but it's not.
No, not Ali Boumenjel. What's the name of the new city of Wahran?
I have no idea.
Oh,
The only thing I know there is Place d'Armes because I spent a lot of time there, but that's about it. I didn't really care about the names that much.
But for example, wait, I have a problem with names.
I love how we're discussing geography after talking about relationships.
Yeah.
And then why the hell did we end up talking about this, by the way?
So for example, Ain Turk
Ain Turkiya.
is not Wahran.
It's Wahran.
I'm sorry, it's not.
It's Wahran. Ain
It's
Turk
not.
is in Wahran.
Also, Bir El Jir.
I love Bir El Jir. I don't know if some Bir El Jir people are watching.
I like the
but,
nightlife in Bir El Jir, to be
It's so
honest.
amazing.
It's amazing.
It's so good.
Oh my God! Thank
I
you,
love
Wahran,
it.
for Bir El Jir.
Yes, I love
But
it.
yeah,
I love Bir El Jir.
but it's full of Aadel.
Yes.
So I don't like that about it. I don't like the aesthetics of Bir El Jir. However, I like going for pizza in Bir El Jir.
I like going for food.
They have Pizza Hut in Bir El Jir.
I don't like Pizza Hut.
I don't like Pizza Hut either.
Controversial opinion, but I don't
No,
like Pizza
it's
Hut.
disgusting.
Yeah, I don't like
The dough is too thick for me.
Any pizza au feu de bois, I think, is my thing. More of like a true Italian pizza.
Oh, you don't like true Italian pizza?
No, I love true Italian pizza. That's
No.
the only type that I might really consider.
Yes.
Or pizza carita sachurrada.
Yeah, I recently
The
went
best.
to La Pietra to eat pizza, and they
La
decided to
Pietra,
stop serving pizza during the day.
La Pietra, the pizza is okay. It's not bad.
Come on, it's good.
I would recommend El Quba. The restaurant's called A Petit Feu, and they have the best pizza I've ever tasted.
Oh my God, I haven't had pizza in so long.
We should go have pizza.
We should go have pizza.
Okay.
But I would like to have pizza with mozzarella and basilic.
Yeah,
Basic one.
that's the one that they make in Cuba.
Okay.
This is why I said that place, and they have such good fries. They make Belgian fries.
Do they still have basilic in April and
Yes, they have basilic all year round.
all year round? Okay.
They're amazing, and they make pesto,
Oh
homemade
my god,
pesto.
I'm hungry now.
I know, me too. I think we should go have lunch.
We should go have lunch.
We should go
You are
have
blessed up.
No. We should continue, chit chatting before going to have lunch. But definitely, we should have lunch soon. Anyway, if you want good pizza, go to Cuba. It's really good.
All right, I'm gonna go.
I'm
now.
gonna go there this afternoon actually, and there is this great pastry place that sells amazing forêt noire.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay. There's the one in Sidi Yahya.
Which one?
Pastry is like viennoiserie.
Well, it's different. Pâtisserie et viennoiserie, c'est pas la même chose. La majorité, ils font les deux. So they do both.
That's why I'm confused.
Yeah. Most of the time, when it comes to pastry shops, they do both. They do viennoiserie et pâtisserie.
Okay.
I think the best one in Algiers is Luca Castello. I spend a lot of time there. I think it's amazing. They have the best pastries ever and the best viennoiserie ever.
Okay, they do real butter, not
Real butter.
Yeah, that's very
Real
important.
butter. And their I think their chef is French.
Okay.
So he really makes amazing food, and I go there quite often.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the one in Ain Allah.
Okay.
It's really good.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
It's really good.
I wanna try. I don't know if they do egg fried rice in Algeria because I did it myself. The only times I ate, I had egg fried rice, which is the Chinese.
I know.
Dish for the people who are watching.
Yeah.
Go look up. Look up Uncle Roger.
Uncle
on
Roger is
YouTube.
the best.
Yeah,
yes.
he's the best. Yes. If you wanna learn how to cook, Uncle Roger on YouTube. But yeah,
Get a rice cooker.
that is it necessary?
It's better because you don't take that much time, and it makes really big quantities of rice. I have a rice cooker at
But
home.
in any case, when you do egg fried rice, you have to have rice that has been
Sitting around the house, yeah.
sitting around the house. You can't have newly cooked
By
rice.
the way, don't let your rice sit for more than 24 hours because it actually develops this bacteria that can kill you. So please don't let your rice sit or your macaroni sit for like more than 24 hours.
Even in the fridge?
Even in the fridge.
Okay.
It can
Kill
get
you.
contaminated
Yeah.
and it can kill you. So I don't know if you want to...
If you care about your life.
Yeah, just don't do that. But definitely don't use freshly cooked rice. Just cook it in the morning, use it for something, and then use it for a poke bowl or something in the morning.
Yeah, usually I cook it at night, and then in the morning I have it for lunch.
I think what I used to do is whenever I made that rice, I mostly use it for poke bowls or for sushi, to make sushi at
Okay.
home. And then whenever I finished, like for dinner, I would make egg fried rice because it's really easy. It's
Okay.
the easiest recipe out there. If you want a good address for that, I think I have one. I forgot the name of the restaurant.
I can look it up for you if you want.
Pantera.
Pantera.
Yeah.
They do egg fried rice?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they have one, like probably the best sushi out there.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so they're really good as well.
Mm.
And they have an open bar concept. So you can go and pay, I think, 4,000 dinars and have unlimited sushi access.
Ooh.
I know.
Okay.
I eat so much more than 4,000
Yeah.
dinars.
No. If I'm one of the clients where they would lose money with.
Me too.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
But you can't take things home with you. So you eat there, and if you're
And I
done,
can eat the
if you're-
whole restaurant.
You would say that sushi is actually that one thing that would make you full very quickly without even realizing it, especially if you're using the sweet soya sauce, which is my favorite.
Okay.
The sweet soya sauce is the best.
Okay, I prefer the salty one. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I really do.
The sweet one is so much better.
I don't know. For me, the soya sauce, the salty one, tastes like came from heaven. So you girls miss out on something.
Mm-hmm.
You miss out on les gargotes in Algeria.
Not really. I eat there.
You
most
eat
of the
there?
time. Yes.
Okay, what do you eat for les gargotes?
Caranteta. I eat pizza curry.
No. I'm not talking about where you stand, where you sit.
Where you sit.
Mhm.
I never.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
I just
about.
go in, take my order, and leave. But I already had like frit omelette, the real frit omelette with like onions and matnous and half cooked patata inside. It's so good.
That's like the tip of the iceberg.
Come on, it's so good.
Yes.
I heard there was this guy who makes garanteta in Bab el Wad and he uses tuna on top of it.
Come on, that's not. It's not this guy. Everybody does it.
Really?
Now.
I
Yes.
didn't know that.
It's actually good.
I
It's
never
actually
tasted
really
it.
good.
I never tasted it. My colleagues.
If you like tuna,
yeah.
If you like, because
love
some
tuna.
people really hate canned tuna for some reason. Canned tuna is good.
Canned
Because
tuna is
sesame, it has sesame oil, right?
Sesame oil, yeah.
Yeah. Why do you hate sesame oil? Anyway, so it's basically garanteta with sesame oil, and it's good.
Look, now I'm a big tuna fan and I'm a big garanteta fan. Okay, I like garanteta. I don't like it in winter, but I like garanteta. So mostly I have it with harissa, like the classic sandwich garanteta harissa and the cup of silik too.
But if you add cheese.
I never added cheese in
And
garanteta.
tuna.
Cheese with tuna.
Yes, so
I am
it has to
learning so
be.
many things.
It has to be the white tuna, the transparent one, not the tomato tuna. The tomato tuna is disgusting with garanteta. The normal tuna,
I was working
oily
with,
tuna.
I was working with my colleagues last time in I think in Sheraton, and we finished work and everyone was discussing like garanteta with tuna, and they said, "Hey, let's go to Babluad, let's get like garanteta with tuna," and we had just eaten, and I was like,
Did you taste it?
I didn't because I didn't go with them.
Okay.
I had
Well, you
to
should.
go somewhere else.
You should.
But mostly, I think this is something that's getting a lot of hype. Also, pizza with fries on top.
No, the garanteta with tuna and pizza with fries on top is something that is now old.
I don't know.
I've been having them for 20 years now.
Which is insane. Dude, I just realized
Pizza,
like there's...
the frites on top of pizza, I've been having them when I was like a kid.
Listen, I order my pizza when I'm at a restaurant. This is the thing about me, which is hilarious. And they know me at the restaurant I told you about in Cuba. I always order my pizza and a plate of fries because I love fries. Okay, I'm obsessed with fries. And they always bring me the biggest plate of fries. So I eat my fries, but then after I finish my fries, I go to my pizza. I never eat them together. This is the thing. I never ate pizza
But
with
when you're a
fries.
student, when you're a starving student with 10,000 في جيبك and you go buy pizza carré with les frites on top and harissa that is diluted in water, for some reason it tastes like
Heaven. When I was in Boubegra, and my Bouzland people know this, before they closed like the main entry, I used to go to Ami Hamid, who makes heavenly fries. They're not Belgian fries, they're not crunchy fries, they're just fries.
Yeah.
And he puts them inside of bread and he just puts like whatever you want on top. And I used to have it with harissa. Simple. I'm a simple person. I used to have it with harissa. Timnalaf. The best thing. And for pizza carré, I used to have it and pâtissier الفوقة. And I think I used to have the har ones, like with pepper.
Oh yeah.
That's the one I used to have. And it's really tasty, but I never had like pizza carré with fries on top.
No, it's its own thing. I don't know if you're gonna like it, but it's its own thing. So I wanna
Can
talk.
we go try it?
Yeah, we could,
Okay,
of course.
let's go try it.
But what I want to talk to you about is a secret that only men know in Algeria, which is les abats, نتوم، شتات حلحم، شتات حجاج،
Yeah.
شتات كبدة، شتات
We
حدند،
call it كبدة مشرملة, not شتات
كبدة مشملة rather.
Thank you.
شتات حدند.
شتات حدند.
Yes.
That's a thing.
Yes.
I did not know.
So it's cuisse de dinde. شتات حو.
شتات حجاج. It's the same concept of شتات حجاج.
The same concept.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what do I do? When I'm hungry, it's lunchtime, I have many options. For some reason, the best option for me is to go to une gargote, ask for half شتات لحم garni frites. Do you know how much I pay for that?
I have no idea.
So it's half a plate, but in actuality it's a plate. Like يحط لك, it's literally a plate.
Yeah.
I pay 200 dinars, 200 dinars for it.
For شتات حلحم.
شتات لحم garni frites.
Why the hell is food for girls so expensive?
I don't know. But when I take a girl to have the same thing,
Yeah.
I pay 3,000 dinars.
I was gonna say that.
Yes, because there's I think there's a restaurant called in Blida. It's called Dal Sultan.
By the way, do you have good restaurants in
We have amazing restaurants in Blida.
Really?
Yes.
I've never been
Some of my
around.
favorite restaurants in Algeria are in Blida.
No way.
Yeah.
We should discover
Yes.
them.
There's
Which
a chicken place in Blida,
Yeah?
which is crazy.
Do they serve good
love
chicken?
it. They serve good chicken, but also they have the spiciest sauces in all of Algeria.
I love that.
They have sauces that would make you cry and die.
Please, yes, let's
Yes,
go there.
because I went there before Ramadan,
Yeah.
and I asked for spicy sauce, and they gave me like harissa, and I was like, okay, this is good, but is this what you call spice? It was like, okay, are you sure? I'm gonna bring you really spicy one. I told him, okay, go ahead. He brought me a spicier sauce, and I was like, okay, but I just finished it, which means it's not spicy enough. He was like, okay, I'm gonna bring you a really spicy one. But he said, you're gonna regret this.
Was that like a darsa or was
And
that a
he brought
harissa?
me like just a sauce.
It's just
It's like harissa, but it's like so spicy
Oh my god.
that whenever you put one bite in your mouth, you start crying. And I was loving it.
Me too.
I'm
I
a
would love
food
that.
BDSM guy. Like
Listen, spicy food is my jam. I think we both know that. I did not bring cup, by the way. I forgot.
it's okay, no problem.
I should have.
But did you find cab? I don't think you would find cab.
I don't know. I find it in
In
Algiers,
Talbedo.
in
Okay.
my city.
I couldn't find it. It's been a year. I haven't had cab.
Really?
Over a year, actually.
I would get you one for sure. I think
Okay.
I have one at home just sitting around because I always buy like 3, 4 and leave them at home because we go
Yeah.
through them very fast. So I'll probably bring you harissa soon. But yeah, I think the best harissa I've tasted was in Tunisia. I told you about this before. They have amazing harissa, homemade harissa.
Yeah, I need some of that.
It's amazing. It's one of a
Yeah.
kind. Also, Asian peppers are extremely spicy. I don't know if you know this, but like they're very
What's the name of the green thing?
the one we eat with sushi.
Yeah,
Wasabi.
wasabi. Yeah, wasabi is
Wasabi,
it's torture.
Did you see that video of that little girl who was like wasabi, and then her mom put a little bit on her mouth? She was like, "Help!" Like that's the only reaction. She was like, "Help!" That was
Yeah.
a lot of. I went out with a lot of people, and they never go like to wasabi. And this is the thing in Japan. The correct way to eat your sushi is to take a little bit of wasabi, mix it within your soya sauce, and then dip the sushi inside of the soya
Oh,
sauce.
okay. I never
That's-
actually did that. I took them separately.
No, this is how you eat them in Japan.
Okay.
And the wasabi is actually there to eliminate the rest of the bacteria from the fish. So it's actually something that's very important before you eat sushi. So never eat sushi without wasabi, by the way.
Okay.
So yeah,
So spice is antibacterial?
in a way, yes.
Okay.
In a way.
Didn't know that.
Weirdly enough, wasabi is a
Okay.
real wasabi, of course, not the green paste they sell in the supermarket, because in Japan you get actual real wasabi, and it's spicier than the one we have here in Algeria, just so you know.
Yeah.
And you need to like mix it with the soya sauce and then dip. In Algeria, I've seen people not do that. And I remember I went for sushi with someone a couple of years ago or a year ago, and I did that. I took half of the wasabi and I mixed it with my sauce, my sweet soya sauce.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and he was like, "What's the point of getting a sweet soya sauce just to make it spicy?"
Yeah, no. I agree with this. The spicy sweet soya sauce. That sounds good.
It is delicious if you mix the wasabi inside.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Yeah.
It's better than the normal soya
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Actually, now I'm kind of convinced. I want to try
See?
that.
See?
Yeah. On this note, I think we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for
We did
inviting
2 hours and a half.
Oh my.
Yeah. We're gonna cut a few things. It's gonna turn into like maybe 2 hours 15 minutes.
2 hours is a long. I hope people won't get bored watching us.
No. A lot of people are would be bored enough to listen to the whole thing.
Okay.
Yes, it was a fun podcast.
Definitely,
So let's
I
do it
enjoyed
again
it.
soon.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the invite.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
all the
you,
way to
Blida, for receiving me. Even though apparently I wasn't in Blida, I was in Boubegra. So thank
now
you,
you're
Boubegra.
now you're in Blida officially.
Now I'm in Blida.
Yeah, this is the
officially.
limit of Blida. This is the entry of Blida.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you, Blida. Thank you, Boubegra. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
There you go.
See you soon. Goodbye.
See you. Bye.